Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is exactly 9:51 a.m. South African time. We cross over to Dublin and we are going to be talking with Ahmed Manzoor Sheikh Imam, who is there on on a fact-finding mission, I should imagine. He, of course, is with the Freedom. He's the Freedom National Freedom Party leader, like I've said, currently in Dublin on work. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum to all our listeners out there.
Are you able to tell us why you are in Dublin at the moment?
Yes, it's the chief whips of the National Assembly in Parliament that are here on a study group tour on a fact-finding mission to look at how the Irish Parliament operates differently to the South African, to share ideas and see what we can come up with then differently to make Parliament more effective, particularly from a chief whip's perspective.
And are you encouraged thus far what you guys have come across?
Yes, we've been in engagement yesterday afternoon when we arrived with the ambassador, South African ambassador to who's based here in Dublin. And of course, she briefed us on a whole lot of what's going on, economic growth, which last year was 12%. Secondly, very low unemployment rate. They produce 10 times more than they want, and that's why they are an exporting nation. Yes, and amongst that, of course, there are some challenges, of course, people face in Ireland. Other than that, she briefed us so that we could be better informed as to what is the situation, so that when we engage with our counterparts from the Irish Parliament today, tomorrow on Wednesday, we'll be better informed.
Okay, hopefully we'll have a talk about that when you get back to South Africa. But the important question for today, and it's just one question really, is what measures are being put in place to ensure that Palestinians who visit South Africa require visas to get to the country, to enter our country. However, their Israeli counterparts don't need visas at all. Why is there this apartheid between the Palestinian people and the Israelis? It seems almost as if the Israelis are being favored unduly, and the Palestinians are obviously being put under. There's a burden on them to require to get a visa to come in. That also suggests to me that they are possibly being screened before that visa is being allowed to them, for whatever reason, as far as the South African government is concerned.
Well, yes, indeed. For a long period of time, Palestinians wanting to come to South Africa, and that when I say Palestinian, talking about all Palestinians, including diplomats and things, were having it. It was very difficult for them to get access to South Africa, and I've raised this time and time again. And I'm very happy to state that with the response I've just received from the minister, that our hard work has paid off. First of all, I think what one needs to look at, when did they introduce this? Who was responsible to introduce this? Was it before apartheid, or was it during this dispensation in a democratic South Africa that these measures were put in place? I've got some media statements or some comments that have come from members of the public, and Jazakallah for that, raising concerns about that, and some of them give different reasons why and when this was introduced. However, Israelis are able to come here visa-free. Palestinians have very stringent visa conditions. Government and the minister has said that on the issue of diplomats, the matter is receiving urgent attention. It has been finalized. But very importantly, for all ordinary Palestinians, he is given an assurance in a reply to my question to the minister that by no later than the end of June, he will have dealt with that matter, so that Palestinians will be able to, ordinary Palestinians will be able to enjoy the same benefits as their counterparts in Israel for visa-free entry into South Africa. So as the National Freedom Party, we welcome this. The hard work and the perseverance has paid dividends.
Alhamdulillah for that. I was about to tell you that your Phone seems to be slipping there. Do you think this was deliberate to keep the Palestinians out of South Africa? And I'm also wondering, do you believe that once they're allowed visas, whether it's visitors' visas, working visas, do we know what sort of visas we're talking about here? And do you think that we might have an influx of Palestinians because of the hardship they're facing in Palestine, that they might come to South Africa for better opportunities?
Well, I don't think there will be an influx as such, but I think what is important that many Palestinians, as a result of the atrocities that they face on a daily basis, have many of their friends and families living in South Africa. And at least they will have the opportunity of visiting South Africa. They will be able to visit their family, their friends. They will be able to come on study visas. Some of them may want to relocate. Some will perhaps bring in some skills, of course. So yes, I think it will benefit Palestinians. But what is important to note that Palestinians should and must enjoy the same privileges like their counterparts in Israel and everywhere else. And that is, I think, what is important. So, and remember that with what is going on in Palestine, they are entitled to asylum in South Africa. And that's one of the things we need to consider. But right now, what is important is to ensure that Palestinians have the who are wanting to come and visit South Africa are allowed to come in here without any intimidation, harassment, and stringent visa conditions. So I think that is the important thing of what we're wanting to achieve. And Alhamdulillah, I think we have got to that point at this stage. Of course, there are other measures that we want to put in place. And if you allow me to elaborate, and that is a complete trade boycott of Israel. The second and very important thing is this, that South Africans training and having dual citizenship with Israel and training in the Israeli military, which is a great risk to South Africa. The third and very important point that I've also raised is that is South Africans wanting to send money abroad to Israeli, there's no conditions put in place, and illicit financial flow is on the rise. Whereas counterparts, not only in Palestine, all over the world, that need to send money out are put through stringent conditions and have to comply with certain rules and regulations. And that's the difference, yes.
And put under a regular microscope. They then monitored for the rest of their life thereafter regarding their financial transactions are concerned. But lovely talking with you. So glad that you're always raising all the relevant issues in Parliament, and we salute you for that. Dear Ahmed Mansour Sheikh Imam, the leader of the National Freedom Party, go well and look forward to future chats with you, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, that brings us to 9:59 exactly, news and views right here on Salam Media. Let's just hear if we have managed to connect with a Hujaj. If not, then I'm going to be wrapping up. Okay, my controller has nodded in the negative. We were going to be talking with Abdul Khadir Hussein, a Hujaj currently in the Holy Lands, but we're unable to get hold of him. So, unfortunately, that's where we will leave it this morning. It is exactly 10 o'clock right here on News and Views. We're signing off. A big shout out to our production team, and that, of course, is Nasreen and Naidu and Abdul Salam. Thank you indeed. Please take care on the roads. Look forward to chatting again with you tomorrow morning at the same time. Till then, as always, Assalamu alaikum and Khudafiz from me, Julie Ali.